Gotcha Gaming here. I wanted to bring you guys a video on Silverwolf's pull value and how that is going to be impacted by upcoming characters. On top of that, I'm going to be talking about how each of these characters will synergize with Silverwolf. Okay, so by now, we all know drratio is going to be educating all of our accounts for free by the time his banner comes around in 1.6. So, I think his pull value is terrible. Do not pull for him. We get a free copy. You aren't going to need his eidolons, and the 4 stars on his banner are pretty irrelevant gameplay wise. He has Su Shang, Hook, and Natasha. That is dreadful. I feel really bad for people that have been waiting for the Kafka rerun. These characters don't even synergize with her. But in terms of synergy with Silverwolf, drratio has ridiculous value. His kit relies on his teammates applying debuffs on the opponent, because when there are enough debuffs, he is guaranteed to use his follow-up attack. And his follow-up attack is going to be the best way to get the most DPS out of his kit. Really, the more debuffs on the enemy, the better it is for ratio. And nobody in the game implants debuffs like Silverwolf. Between her skill and her talent, she lands 3 debuffs on the enemy after her first attack. If she breaks enemy weakness, which she's good at, she will add 2 more debuffs. If you have her E2, there's another permanent unremovable debuff. If you have her signature or another Lycone that implants debuffs, there's another one. And on top of all that, her ultimate applies another debuff. So yeah, she can individually give the enemy all the debuffs ratio needs. And a lot of people are considering using dot characters with ratio since dots technically count as debuffs. But dots won't synergize nearly as well as Silverwolf's debuffs because her debuffs, like defense shred, weakness implant, and elemental resistance decrease, will directly make ratio's follow-ups hit even harder. Pela's debuffs help out in this aspect, but I don't think Pela is going to be applying enough debuffs alone for you to want to run her with ratio as his only debuffer. He is also a hunt character, meaning his single target focus lines up with Silverwolf very well. I'm guessing a good team here is going to be either Swan or Luocha as your sustainer, Yukong or Sparkle when she drops as your buffer, and then Silverwolf and drratio filling out those final 2 slots. So really, if you are planning on using the hell out of drratio like I am, then you'll want to pull for Silverwolf. Now, let's talk about the pull value of Ruan Mei's banner in relation to Silverwolf. And yeah, call her Ruan Mei because this is a must pull for me. Let's start off with the 4 stars on her banner. Ting Yun is Ting Yun. We all know she's fantastic. March is very strong in simulated universe game modes. And most importantly, Jue Yi. Jue Yi is going to make Mono Quantum even more nuts. I didn't think it was going to be possible for a 4-star quantum DPS character to power creep QQ, but here we are, and now I'm not so sure. Jue Yi is all about toughness breaking the enemy, which is crazy good synergy with Ruan Mei, and even crazier synergy with Silverwolf. I mean, that's what Mono Quantum is all about. And finally, Ruan Mei. Ruan Mei and Silverwolf are going to go together like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, her whole mechanic is breaking the enemy as fast as possible, keeping them broken for as long as possible, and then going ape while their weakness is broken. The fact that Silverwolf applies weakness to the enemy is just perfect with that mechanic. For this team, you're going to want to run Japard or Fushuan as your sustain, Jue Yi, Sayla, QQ, or Jingliu as your DPS. And then Ruan Mei and Silverwolf. If you want Ruan Mei, then you should get yourself a Silverwolf while you can. Black Swan is another 5-star coming out, and she should be the first character of 2.0, based on the order of the drip marketing. We don't know what 4 stars will be on this banner, but we can just take a look at Black Swan's pull value alone here. For starters, for Dot and Kafka enjoyers, Black Swan's basically a must pull. We have not had a 5-star Dot character release yet for Kafka, so I'm guessing this will be that character. And that's who Kafka has been waiting for. Of course, this is all speculation because Hoyoverse has not released anything about her kit yet. The first team comp that comes to mind with her probably wouldn't have Silverwolf in it. Or would it? We know she's a Nihility character, and one of the debuffs Nihility is notorious for, besides dots, is Defense Shred. What if Black Swan could implant Defense Shred and dots? This could make a team up of Silverwolf, Black Swan, and Kafka insanely dangerous, because Defense Shred is an incredible multiplier that gets stronger the more of it you have. So if Defense Shred was coming from Silverwolf, Black Swan, and Kafka's DOT relic set, then you would have a ridiculous team composition where the Defense Shred is out of this world and the dots are dealing massive damage. For a sustainer, Huoho would be perfect here because Kafka's dots are attack scaling and all characters benefit from more energy. Out of all the characters that I'm discussing the synergy with Silverwolf today, I'm going to guess Black Swan will have the least amount of synergy, but with that said, Black Swan and Silverwolf could go together perfectly if they have Defense Shred in common, which I think is a strong possibility. And the final character for discussion, Sparkle. For starters, Sparkle's character design is adorable. She looks like Kurumi from Data Live, and besides Silverwolf and Japard, I haven't liked the character's design more. But continuing with the discussion of her actual gameplay, we again have not been told anything specifically about her from Hoyoverse, besides the fact she is a 5-star Quantum Harmony unit. But man, what else do we really need to know? Harmony characters never disappoint to be busted, and Mono Quantum is a nuts mechanic that is going to be completely broken once we get more limited characters that are more prevalent in the meta. Sorry, Sele. And I think Sparkle has a very good chance of elevating Mono Quantum even further. If you want Mono Quantum, Silverwolf's pull value is higher than Sparkle's. If you don't want Mono Quantum, Silverwolf and Sparkle on the same team will still be fantastic. Add Fushuan, Lynx, or a Sustainer of the same element of whatever DPS you plan to run, and Silverwolf's weakness implant will still be incredibly useful. For a while, there was a lot of chatter in the community about Silverwolf's pull value dropping off once we get more characters to play with. However, with everything Silverwolf does in her kit besides weakness implant, the upcoming characters are really showing how valuable and future-proof Silverwolf really is. I would honestly recommend, very generally, for players to pull Silverwolf right now, prioritizing her above all future characters. Drratio is guaranteed, and his synergy with her is amazing. But each count is different, so there really is no single answer to who you should pull for. And ultimately, there are so many different playstyles in honkaistarrail that you truly should pull for the playstyle that makes you most happy. I just believe that Silverwolf has a role in almost every playstyle due to defense shred and toughness breaking being pretty universally good. And on top of that, she pushes defense shred and toughness break past their limits in the right team comp. And she even enables the Mono Quantum playstyle. That's everything I have for you guys regarding Silverwolf's pull value and synergy with future characters. If y'all found this interesting or helpful, it'd really mean a lot to me if you would like and subscribe. My account is still very new, and every little bit would help tremendously to get me off the ground. Let me know in the comments what you think of Silverwolf's value going forward, and who are you most excited for coming up? Well, until next time.